Well, today I want to share with you a week's worth of Farmhouse kitchen breakfasts. Now, this particular video, I wanted to do a little bit differently. So normally I edit out, crazy kid things that might not seem, I don't know, terribly aesthetically pleasing maybe. Normally I just kind of cut that stuff out. But I started realizing as I've been looking back through my videos that there's a part of it that is very authentic, but I'm also missing a huge piece of our life, and that is, it is a little bit crazy and chaotic and hilarious. So I decided with this video, I'm gonna keep some of the silly and crazy things that my kids or animals do, just for the fun of it. It makes you laugh a little bit. It makes you realize that we don't have like a beautiful, perfect life. Like there's a lot of crazy stuff that takes place, and I think that kind of helps keep the videos that I make genuine to who I am and who my family is, with all these real situations that we're in.
Mom, is this a good idea?
No.
Should I use that for pee?
What?
Is this like good?
I don't know what you're saying.
Should I use that for pee?
Shay used what for pee?
That for lamb pee.
Why? So everybody's been drying their hands with it?
I'm not cutting mushrooms. I'm cutting. Mom, this is dry.
I know, but if I wiped the table with pee rag, it needs to be wiped off again. Let me dry. Oh, it smells like pee.
Yep. Okay,
Shay, do not use those towels to dry the baby lamb pee. You understand me?
Yeah.
I think you're really going to enjoy this video. So at the beginning of the week, I asked the kids if they wanted to help me choose some of their favorite meals that we make for breakfasts and help me pull them together and film them, and they were all super excited to help. So I'm going to share with you kind of our family's favorites, and hopefully you guys will enjoy these recipes as much as we do. Because we have a farm and homestead, I try to cook with as much of the ingredients that we grow and raise here on our farm. So you'll see us using a lot of eggs and a lot of the vegetables and fruits that we've preserved here on the farm. So this is Burger, our little bottle baby. I'm not sure if you remember him from the last video, if you saw it. He ends up in our house a lot more than I'd like to because he's so young, but this week I am working on getting him moved out into the barn with the big sheep so he can get out of my house, so that way he stops peeing on the floor and my kids stop wiping his pee with my towel. I purchase bananas in bulk at a local Amish health food store. So here is a box of bananas I got a couple weeks ago, and I stuck them in the refrigerator, like in our walk-in, our cold room. So they look brown. They are brown. They look gross. They are not. They're actually not even ripe. I mean, they're ripe, but not overly ripe on the inside. So I'm peeling them. I'm having Selah help me peel them. We are making banana muffins today, and I am also freezing everything that we don't need because we use them for smoothies. Now, we had the eggs and vegetables, like those egg and veggie burritos for breakfast this morning. However, tomorrow, which is Tuesday, we are actually going to be going to Lancaster and hitting up some of the Amish health food stores and discount stores in Pennsylvania. So we're not going to be eating breakfast at home. So I'm making these banana muffins so we can pack them on the car ride with us and eat them on our little road trip. So I don't have any meals to show you for today. This is the day that we're using the banana muffins on our road trip. But little Cricken Burger, our little bottle baby, he still needs breakfast. So I'm going to show you his breakfast today.
Fine, but you're going to need to figure out how you're going to get a collar or something. Thank you.
All right, don't roll your eyes or laugh, but I've noticed as I've been filming videos in my kitchen, I cannot stand my digital clock on my stove. It drives me nuts. So I decided I'm going to hide it with some eucalyptus that we grew in the garden last year and my little copper ice pot. So this is like my way of disguising my super ugly stove and being able to at least not completely hate it. So there's a little method to my madness here. All right, here comes my Eskimo man.
All right,
What are
are you doing?
Going to the Arctic.
You're going to the Arctic? You're crazy. Okay, so we need to get milk still. Do you feel like running out into the cold room and grabbing milk, or do I need to go out with you?
I think I should go out with you.
Okay.
Going to the Arctic. Bye-bye.
What are you doing?
Going to the Arctic. Is that heavy? Not really.
All right, you coming? Okay, go ahead. So this particular recipe that we're making now is the puff pancake. This recipe actually is a Dutch baby puff pancake recipe that I adapted. It's a hybrid between a coconut pie, like a blender coconut pie recipe that my mom had, and the Dutch baby puff pancake. So when I first tried a puff pancake recipe years ago, I thought it was absolutely disgusting. I don't know how people enjoy it. I think it's bland. It doesn't have any flavor. It doesn't have anything enjoyable. It just tastes like blah. So when I started comparing the ingredients between the puff pancake and this coconut pie recipe that my mom had, I realized there are a lot of similar ingredients. So I played around with it a little bit, and I found I made this recipe that was the perfect of both worlds. You've got the nutrient dense aspect of the puff pancake, and then you've also got the flavors from this coconut pie. So I'm super excited to share this recipe with you.
Mom, guess who woke me up? Pickles. What? Yup. We're not putting pickles on fire. Oh, yeah.
So as you can probably tell by now, some of my measurements are not very precise. So here, I'll show you. I am teaching my children what a teaspoon of salt is kind of roughly like.
Now, I'm also gonna do a dab of olive. You did.
My sweet, darling, innocent children, they fight too.
1 teaspoon of vanilla. That's good. Go ahead and put it in. All right, now do one more ingredient. Yes. That's fine. Next thing about one of these. So you don't want to tap it down. I like to tap it up.
So we are mixing all the ingredients into the blender and then taking those blenders over, whipping them up, and that's the extent to this recipe. I love it. It is so simple and the cleanup is wonderful. So I wanted to show you how I pour the batter in these pans. I try and pour it in a way that it kind of combines the butter into the batter mixture. What I don't want, I mean, not that it's a bad thing, but I don't necessarily want all the butter along the edges of the pan. I prefer to have some of the butter incorporate into the middle of the batter. And my kids love making little whipped cream smiley faces and kind of decorating and being creative with their meals. We actually ran out of whipped cream, so poor Gideon didn't get any. I was a little bummed about that. Oh well. Now, I did have a small piece of the puff pancake. However, I am really trying to eat more protein and a little less carbs. So I'm eating slightly different breakfasts from the rest of my kids. Today is another one of my kids' absolute favorite meals. They love yogurt parfaits. So I'm using the little, what are they? Not, they're margarita glasses. I don't know. We don't drink margaritas very often, so I think it's a lot of fun to kind of make a beautiful little parfait out of these glasses. So I'm layering granola and yogurt and fruit medley, like a fruit cocktail, and all those delicious sugary juices. Oh, it kind of makes me cringe. That's like soaking into all the granola. It is a delicious meal. I again am making an egg breakfast for myself just because I don't necessarily need all these sugars and carbs. Now, I kept this particular segment of the video in this movie because I thought it was actually hilarious watching my son mess with the fire and blow it out when I wasn't watching. And you can see him going back and eyeballing it even after I relit it, and I don't know. Like, what a typical boy, right? And I want to be able to go back and watch these videos and laugh at the reality of my life, you know? I love my children, and I think this just showcases them so well. And then, oh my goodness, sweet little Shay circling around. She must be eating something and is kind of doing like a food eating dance. I just think it's so precious. So here comes the candle relighting. I wonder sometimes why I even bother. I try to, create this romantic and beautiful environment for myself, and the kids just, sabotage that. If you see, I use pork lard as my main oil of choice. I fry with it because it's cheaper than butter, because we have mule-foot pigs. They are a lard pig, so they have a lot of fat in their bodies, and I get a ton of lard. So I use lard for so much of my cooking and baking. So you'll see me using that. It's in that little canister. Today, Gemma and I got a very early start to breakfast. And today's breakfast is baked oatmeal, another huge family favorite. course, you cannot forget all the delicious toppings to baked oatmeal. We've got almonds and pecans and coconut and craisins, and of course, bananas. Another huge favorite topping of ours is fried apples. So now I'm also getting started on this weekend's breakfast. We're making a sausage egg casserole. It does best sitting overnight, so I'm just making this ahead and I'm gonna stick it in my cold room and then I'll bake it probably on Sunday.
Don't take all the cheese.
I don't show my two older girls very much in my videos because they've asked to be able to stay out of it as much as possible. But I do really enjoy the conversations that I have with them while I'm cooking. We always, get to spend this time together. It's just wonderful. I really savor it. So in this egg casserole, the sausage egg casserole, I'm adding in some leftover vegetables from the other day that we sauteed up, just to kind of add a little extra flavor to it. Now, Saturday's breakfast is the most delicious buttermilk pancake recipe you could ever find. I grew up eating this, and I am telling you, I have never found a more delicious pancake recipe. I might sound a little bit like a snob, but normally I enjoy making our own buttermilk since I have Daisy and milk, and I have cultures to make my own buttermilk. But for some reason or another, we had this can of buttermilk. I don't know if my mom may have dropped it off. I don't know. But I am utilizing what I have in the refrigerator right now, and it is this, which works perfectly fine. My cringeworthy measuring skills here again. The key to this recipe is 100% the buttermilk and whipping up the egg whites and folding them into the batter. It makes a delicious, pillowy pancake. And then let's not forget little Crickenberger's breakfast as well. Unfortunately, his is not as diverse as ours. Now it's time to get out and get some chores done.